Hello, beloveds. It's Tara. This is your SoulTour weekly member message for the week of August 5th, 2024. And I am definitely in a low makeup mode because I'm going to work from the spa today. Usually on Fridays, as you know, Fridays are one of my, pure aura time days. Usually Friday morning I go to the spa in Lisbon, and then I work from the spa, and then I go have a super fancy lunch, and then I come back. And that just has not been happening the last couple of weeks. And so I just kind of was like, you know what I need to do is prioritize that this week. Because I'm really having this moment of being so thankful that I know how important it is to get into state first before you do the things, because there's lots of shifts and lots of creating that's trying to happen right now. There's lots of things that are falling apart and falling away because they can't come into the next season of upgrade. So I just kind of wanted to talk you through some of the themes and things that are happening here and coming through me in this week and in this season that I think will be important for you, because this week is kind of a wild week astrologically. So theme 1, our freshman year in Portugal has ended. And just like freshman, you had like freshman year friends at school. You had freshman year, all kinds of stuff. Your mom took you out to Mervyn's. You know what I'm talking about. Your mom took you to Mervyn's, bought you all these things you thought you would need for freshman year, and like some of that stuff you didn't actually need or use. And then other things that you didn't have, you did need, or you came to desire. You kind of got good at some things. You shed a little bit of the nervousness. Now you know your way around school. That's us right now. All right? So there's all these shifts that are happening and wanting to happen. And as I shared with you last week, I am in a place of every day I think I'm in a place of total surrender to what Source is doing, what life is bringing. The clay is almost molding itself. And I'm just like, cool. I'm here for this. Daily asking myself what is mine to do. Because it's not all mine to do. And I can see that. I can actually still see, even after, all these years of human design deconditioning and cleanup, I can still see how I, left to my own devices, veer into hard, right? And I can see how even some of the choices I made in my first year in Portugal, like to live where I live, which is beautiful and luxurious, but way in the freak out in the middle of nowhere, we're still choices that had some hard on it. So this is a time for me where some of the themes are like deep synchronicities are happening. Synchronicities are happening every day. And I'll talk to you about what that means in a second. But synchronicities are happening so fast, I've just decided to surrender to it all. Anytime something, especially, and this is a word, anytime something does not go my way, the way I don't mean like in my favor, because it's all in my favor, you guys. It's all in our favor. All of it. Everything is literally, all things are working out for you all the time. Okay? The things you are seeing as failures, the things that are making you feel like you're not doing enough or you didn't hit your goal, I assure you with everything in my being, are actually things working out for you. And I don't mean just for after you die or when you get old or in the long run. I mean in the soon now run. Okay? So synchronicities are happening. And every time I plan a day or have a mental model for how I want my day, my week, my month, my year, my school year to look, and it doesn't go that way for any reason, I'm like, oh, let me start watching for the synchronicities. And one thing I will tell you is you cannot see the synchronicities that are trying to come to you in your favor, for your benefit, if you're constricted or pissed off or judging that the way the day is unfolding, the way your week, your month, your year, your life is unfolding is somehow bad or wrong. You have to see the synchronicities, to show up for what is yours to do in this season, to even recognize the things that are happening for your benefit in this season. You have to be totally radical. You have to practice, cultivate, and deepen every day your ability to radically accept it all. Okay, so synchronicities are a theme right now. Creating space is a theme right now. Things that I would have encountered in the past and seen as roadblocks, problems to solve, projects to do, things I needed to address or challenge. I'm like, oh, this is it. It's all lining up for me. Let me lean into this. Let me show up for this. Let me open my eyes wide to see the opportunities in this. Open my eyes wide right now to see all of the ways where whatever has been hard or challenging is trying to fall away, so that these new, beautiful, easeful ways, gifts of the goddess, gifts from God, are just showing up and wanting to kind of be delivered to me the way London wants it delivered on a golden platter. So synchronicities, creating space is happening. There are things that are, I wouldn't say falling apart, because I don't just let stuff fall apart just like that. But I will say that there are things that I thought for sure were on my bingo card for 2024 that just ain't they're not happening with the ease that they need to happen. And I could see, and I give thanks already, because I can see how, by that not happening, we're creating space for this amazing new reality, new love-riddled, lavish, luxurious, way less work reality to come to our life, to become our lives. And so the reason I said this week is kind of wild astrologically is that it's a new moon, which symbolizes the way you engage with, relate to, interact with, cultivate, nourish your inner worlds. I like that Christy Inge says the new moon, or the moon in general, sort of represents the game of hide and seek you're playing with your inner wisdom, with your vital life force, and I would add with your own divinity. So she goes on to write about the new moon specifically, that the darkness, this is a quote, the darkness of the new moon is when you go deep within your inner world, gestating new intentions that align more fully with your purpose. And the light of the full moon is when you see your shadows with bright clarity, when you face, the choice of integration, wholeness, and liberation, or deeper denial of your creative power, of who you really are. So the dark and quiet sky of the new moon is a stainless moment of inner clarity. It's a time of making space to listen for the call of your soul. Catch this. The intentions that arise from that well of wholeness are the ones that are ready to alchemize into purposeful expansion. All right? So not only is it a new moon, in a few days, 3 days, it'll be Lionsgate, which is August 8th. I'm not going to talk about Lionsgate or teach about Lionsgate right now, or actually even in the programs, but I will say that Lionsgate is a portal for very rapid transformation and manifestation. It is a buckle up buttercup type vibe. Okay? Lionsgate is a time for you to heal, purge, cultivate, and rampage self-love and love in general. So I have an exercise in your email, in your weekly member love note. You'll find a Lionsgate journaling exercise you can do leading up into and on 8/8. And then also, Mercury turns retrograde today. Now, I know that freaks people out, and I just don't, like, y'all know, because the hidden blessing of Mercury in retrograde is that it's also a great time to anything, rethink, reinvent, recreate, revisit. So I think for me, I know I spent a lot of time this weekend revisiting what has super worked for me in the past, and kind of listing out, before I even realized it was going to be Mercury Retrograde, I started to list out like old relationships, old colleagues, old contacts I used to work with that I loved working with. Just things started to come up where I was like, ooh, you know what? I never really ever got in touch with that woman. We talked about it forever, but like, let's do it. So I think the next season is going to be full of golden opportunities that we activate during this retrograde. So go retrograde. Don't fight the feeling. Lean on into it. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of prompts, kind of questions I've been sitting with, not answering, not journaling to, just sitting with, that I want to share with you. And I want you to sit with them too and just let them be planted in your spirit as seeds. Don't force yourself to come up with answers, okay? Feel free to just write freely in response to these questions as I speak them. Go back and play them a few times. Feel free to do that, or if an answer comes up immediately, write that down. If nothing comes up and you're not writing right now, just let it be a meditation and watch what happens. Your brains will be activated by these questions as I read them, and it will begin to look for answers. It will find them. You will find them. The wise inner being within you will find them. So questions that have been very active for me are, what really worked for you in the past? What were your biggest wins? How did you create them or co-create them? What have you been seeing as your source instead of source? That was a word for somebody. What have you been looking at as your source instead of actual source? What does God want to create through divine power working within you and not you working? What does the goddess want to create through your joy? What passions and enthusiasms are you telling yourself must wait for something? Is it a pivot or is it an expansion? What are you ready to see clearly, clean up, and alchemize fresh and new today? What stories are you telling yourself about why you gotta wait? What synchronicities are happening to you, for you, in you, around you right now? What things falling apart are actually making space for fresh and new things, fresh and new blessings? What outer roadblocks are actually your sort of launch pad? And what wonderful things, I don't just mean like stuff you want, I mean profound insights, clarities, downloads, bodies of work are trying to come to you and through you. What disruptions to the way you've always done things are you finally now ready for? So, on synchronicity, I'm going to read you a little passage from Lara Day, from her book, The Circle. Even reading this passage now is a synchronicity. Unlike a coincidence, synchronicity is a guide to where I am going, what I will meet, and how safely or easily I will arrive at my destination. As I move through my day, all that I encounter, people, situations, places, things, exist to shift and guide me to my chosen reality. Nothing, and I'm going to emphasize, no thing is a coincidence, luck, or chance. So when your day gets derailed, it is for you. Shift into that mindset as quickly as possible so that you are judging it as bad or wrong. It doesn't block your inner pipeline from receiving what's trying to get to you through the portal of your derailed day. All has been divinely engendered by my proper use of the power we all have to create our realities. Even what at first seems difficult is useful in directing, consolidating, and redirecting my many gifts to achieve a world that fits my dreams. If I encounter a setback or obstacle, I would say if you encounter something you've been calling a setback or obstacle, I will immediately, effortlessly know how to readjust and redirect to manifest what I had originally requested. Everything I intend is now a powerful and effective source of change. Making space. As my life fills with the people and things I really want and need at wise inner being level, which may not be conscious to you yet. And that's the freshman year takeaway from me, is the things I thought I needed and wanted for freshman year were great and fine. And honestly, we had an easeful transition here. But now the things I want are even somehow more delicious, more technicolor, more easeful, in some ways more lavish and luxurious, and in some ways more just like soulful and beautiful and meaningful. Transitions. As my life fills with the people and things I really want and need, all that I have outgrown makes space for my new reality. Transitions occur seamlessly with my full and sure participation as I allow space to be made and space to be filled by the profound act of intentional transformation. Catch this. These next two sentences, actually. Within the circle, where every resource of the universe is available to you, every changing moment loosens the binding attachment of the past, allowing me to bring forward only that which affirms my right to be whole, loved, successful, and joyful in the world. Some of the stuff y'all been trying to bring forward with you is not affirming who you really be. It's not affirming your divinity, and that's why it's falling off. Old sacrifices, this one was for me, the old murder in me. Old sacrifices made to survive are no longer needed as I reclaim the power of my original being. And she writes, as I feel the grief of loss, I also feel the joy of recognition and transformation, and the clear, sure knowledge that what I will create will be exactly what I need to be complete. This change is happening now. And the last passage I'm going to read you from the Circle by Laura Day is a passage on outer roadblocks, so-called roadblocks. Looking around my life, I experience things in a state of change. I have the insight and the strength to see things as they really are so that I can use my many tools to create the change I need. Situations I used to hide from to spare myself pain or change, I am now able to face with clarity, peace, and empowerment. Why? Because addressing my life in a realistic way, that doesn't mean limiting what you think you can have in life to what you think is realistic. It means seeing your life right now realistically enables you, she says, to confront, I would say to upgrade, even long-standing issues with pleasure and momentum. I am my own best example of humanity as I tell no lies to myself and I allow none to be told to me. And here's the words I'm speaking over you for this week. It is in the pure, fresh air of my life that the fire of my desires burn away all outdated impediments to my new reality. I can see the truth, I can sit with the truth, and have the patience to act when I am ready for the very best outcome, empowering me to choose my best interests in the present and in the future. As I gain the courage to see my life with clarity, I open my life to possibilities so wonderful, they make each day a blessing. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's all she spoke. Okay, today you have Momentum Monday with Coach Keisha. You have Make It Rain Monday with Coach Lori. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you on the other side. If you should be in coach certification, this is like your last kind of moment to say so. So go to soultour.com/breakthrough and book a call and we'll get you in. All right. I love you. See you soon. Head up, heart out.